Now, objective number two. Objective number two is almost as easy. Let's take any assignment that you have already created, something that is in paper form, whether it be a textbook, whether it be an artifact for a history class, whether it be a section of pre-reading, whether it be a worksheet, whatever it is. Your second skill is to be able to describe and give directions and guidance on that item. So let's give that a try. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to have a lab coming up, and you'll notice it's a mass and change lab. So we're talking about physical changes or chemical changes. Now, you're going to have to read the directions. Then you have some pre-questions that you need to do. You'll notice there are a few predictions down here, so don't forget to make those predictions. Now, this second page is really just to finish those basic questions. But what I want to go through with you very quickly is I want to go through this table with you. You'll notice there are basically 7 steps that you're going to go through here. Now, you're going to have the first column here, which is description of what is happening. Then you're going to have a before, and you're going to have an after column. So before and after. It is very important that you get both of these two measurements, because if you don't have those two measurements, this guy over here, the subtraction for the change in mass, can't happen. Okay? So make sure you get that information. Then finally, last column, chemical or physical change. You have to make the decision and you have to write that out. Okay, so it's basic worksheet stuff, but I also want to go through it with you so you knew exactly what you're up to. So in the case of this item, we would say, this is the worksheet. The directions are as follows. Now be careful, right here, we need you to do the following. Be careful down here because sometimes students do this. And in the end, you have all of the directions a student needs to accomplish a written task. But now, not only do they have the directions written at the top of the page, but now they have your directions. They can feel comfortable knowing they're going to accomplish what you expect because you explained it to them. By doing that, you have accomplished objective number 2. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to have a lab coming up, and you'll notice it's a mass and change lab. So we're talking about physical changes or chemical changes. Now, you're going to have to read the directions. Then you have some pre-questions that you need to do. You'll notice there are a few predictions down here, so don't forget to make those predictions. Now, this second page is really just to finish those basic questions. But what I want to go through with you very quickly is I want to go through this table with you. You'll notice there are basically 7 steps that you're going to go through here. Now, you're going to have the first column here, which is description of what is happening. Then you're going to have a before, and you're going to have an after column. So before and after. It is very important that you get both of these two measurements, because if you don't have those two measurements, this guy over here, the subtraction for the change in mass, can't happen. Okay? So make sure you get that information. Then finally, last column, chemical or physical change. You have to make the decision and you have to write that out. Okay, so it's basic worksheet stuff, but I also wanted to go through it with you so you knew exactly what you're up to. Now, just for fun, you'll notice I did that whole thing, but what we can also do is we can also use the built-in tools that are here to use the features of our document camera more fully, and we're recording what's going on as we do those things. So it's not that big a deal to simply record your document camera as you do the work with your document camera. So this is kind of another opportunity rather than just pointing it at the webcam. All right, we'll see you in a few. Now, we're going to do a third way on this objective number 2 of talking about how to get information using a screencast off of paperwork. So this guy right here. But instead of just showing it to the camera like I did the first time, or instead of putting it under a document camera like I did the second time, we're going to get even easier. Okay? We're going to use this guy right here. You already paid big bucks for this. This is a great way to do exactly the same thing that we've done over and over and over, but using a simple camera. This is also a great technique to teach to kids because so many of them have this in their pocket. So all you need to do is take your paper, lay it out here, go to your camera, and hit the video option. There you go. And now hit record and do exactly the same spiel that I did in the other versions. So I won't worry about doing it with you there, but all you really need to do is do the following. Okay, we have a new Math and Change lab. This lab is going to have to fill out some pre-information. You got to make sure you have your predictions. Make sure you fill in the date over here, blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. Stop. So I would have said the same exact thing, but you've already seen it twice, so why show it to you again? Once it's in the phone, this is the easy part. You simply click on wherever that video is stored, whether you're Apple or Android. Down at the bottom, there's a little 3 balls separated by a little V. That's the share button. So if you hit share. Now, if you have a YouTube channel already attached to your phone, then hit the YouTube button and send it there. If you don't like that, you say, well, I like putting it on Google Drive. Well, great. Save it right to Google Drive, right from your phone. In either case, you can get that data right off of here onto whatever format that you're actually wanting. All I have to do to put it on my YouTube is add a title and a description and hit upload. And as long as I don't mind the data or I have Wi-Fi, no big deal. Alternatively, if I want to put it on my Google Drive, same basic principle. I hit the Save to Drive. And again, all I have to do is add a name and a location for a folder. That's it, and it'll upload it to Google Drive. So again, it's not really screencasting. We're using other tools, but this seemed like a great place to introduce that little tool for objective number 2. So here's the other thing that we just did. What do we want to do with this recording that we just finished? So save and upload, or we could go to edit. We'll get into edit a little bit later, but let's go to save and upload. Now, last time we just saved it as a video file. This time, let's go ahead and upload it to Screencast-O-Matic. You still redo the name. So in this case, it was Screencast Objective 2 version 3, because it was the one with the cell phone. And we make sure everything else is set. So quality, let's go ahead and click it to higher just because I have plenty of space. And it is searchable everywhere on Google. So let's go ahead and publish that guy. And from there, we can let it continue in the background. Now, alternatively, we could have loaded it to YouTube. So let's see how that process would work. You'll notice it's still the same file. It's still uploading to Screencast-O-Matic, but I could also upload it to YouTube. Now, I just have to choose whichever account goes with my YouTube, and in which case I'm going to choose my primary account and set and allow it a couple options. So that's not a big deal. And then finally, it says got successful authorization. Super. And I would simply hit publish. Now, I am going to go back because, again, I'm going to download this so I can put it in your training component. But those are the 3 different ways that you can record and move your recording to some stored version, whether it's on Screencast-O-Matic's files, whether it's on YouTube's files, or whether it's on your own files. All right, guys, thank you. Okay, so let's move on to objective number 3.